sometimes records and covers kind of are like map out my life in a sense. They're a bit of like a book. Each record is a chapter. Hello, I'm Eliza Rose. I am a DJ, producer, a singer. I love my records. I worked in a record shop from the age of 15 to 25. And I'm here today to wax Lyrical. I first got interested in vinyl just working at Flashback Records. I started working there by a complete fluke. It was work experience, I was 15, and I was meant to be working in like modelling agency. I think it was like Select Models or something like that. And they rang me, or they rang my school and was like, oh sorry, we've actually double booked. We can't take on 2 people. So the only thing that was left from the scraps of work experience, it was to work in a nursery or it was to work at Flashback Records. I didn't want to change no nappies. But the idea of a record shop back then, when I was 15, it was not cool. Records were like at a slump. It wasn't a thing that a 15-year-old working class mixed race girl who slicks her hair would really be doing. First it was all white men, so I was a complete anomaly as a young mixed race black woman in the shop. And it was a strange kind of place to work, but I really enjoyed it, and vinyl was not cool at that time. It wasn't like, now it's become quite trendy and people, it wasn't a thing that anybody my age was interested or doing at all. It was an unusual space, a paradoxical space for me to be kind of existing in. But it actually kind of changed the course of my life, and just by that one little fluke of me working at Flashback kind of is why I'm sitting here talking to you today. And I started off with quite a big collection because somebody came in and dropped a load of 90s and noughties R&B. And at that time, that was absolute tat. And I just managed to go through the collection and pick out loads of bits. And one of them that I picked out was this.
Don't know if you got a girl.
Teach Moses, which actually is one of my favorite. She's one of my favorite singers. And this I think is kind of worth a decent bit of money now. And I don't actually think the album had a full release, Complex Simplicity. So I managed to get like a decent collection for probably like £40 or something. Loads of records, characters that come into record shops. One guy called Trojan Pete, who used to always come in and buy reggae, and as you can tell, his name's Trojan Pete. And he asked me on a date one time, that was pretty hilarious. You just used to get these kooky characters that would come in and they were just really fabulous. And you end up getting quite a nice friendship with them because you're seeing them week in, week out, sometimes more than you're seeing your own friends. So I really appreciated like all the weirdos that I met in Flashback, to be honest with you. Kind of made you feel like you can be yourself as well, because you're meeting these really interesting people that are often very authentically themselves and really impassioned about music. When I first started working at Flashback, I was like listening only really to 90s R&B and noughties R&B and Ashanti, Ja Rule, that kind of stuff. Then I got really super into Amy Winehouse when Back to Black came out. The people that I worked with would then be like, oh, you should listen to Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Esther Phillips, all of these different people. Because of that, it really influenced my own sound. And Amy Winehouse, of course, I love her to death, but seeing these black women on the covers, for me, really made a huge difference. And one of the records that I picked that I really love. Eartha Kitt, absolute idol, icon, divine creature and being. Love this album, and I used to play this all the time. Working at Flashback, even that shaped how I sing, because I just became so enamored with these kind of jazz heroines and soul heroines, and like, yeah, I wanted to emulate them, and I did. And also, I loved garage, which I didn't really see UK garage as electronic music. I actually just thought it was like sped up 90s R&B. I just didn't have a notion of electronic music when I was that age. I love, like, you know, the kind of more classic stuff, like Sweet Like Chocolate, Teardrop, Sweet Female Attitude, all of that kind of stuff. And then ultimately what I'll kind of try to do in my music now is merge that love of garage and soul divas into one. Do for Love, Tupac. I don't actually know who produced this, but it's like a garage version of it. And I managed to buy it for like 20 quid and it's like £150 now. So pretty pleased with that little find. Got that one on eBay. Don't want to give you my hot tips, but sometimes look on eBay, guys. So I was traveling around India with Rhythm Sister. They're now known as Common Ground, and we were running some DJ workshops for young women, really fabulous, going to loads of different places. And in Delhi, I went to this record shop where I picked up this gorgeous record, but my favourite one was Fever on it. And again, I think this is quite a rare record. I think it's quite hard to kind of come by, certainly these sides of the world. They weren't damn cheap, I tell you that, but it was definitely worth it. A little Holy Grail one that I have, again, I don't think it's super rare, but it's Donna D. Just kind of a really underrated person in UK garage, like a woman that was making garage, and I mean, I didn't really know about her until maybe 5 years ago or something, which is crazy because she actually was doing absolute bits. So this one is a kind of Holy Grail for me because it's a big, massive inspiration. She's produced it, she's sung on it, and it's her whole album. So that I'd love to kind of recreate garage triple LP album one day. I definitely am gonna kind of try and do something like this because you don't really get stuff like that anymore. I think my record collection says about me, raver, weirdo, soulful. I do like some quite left field little bits that I've got in there and some unusual kind of sounds. You'll be able to learn a lot about me from my record collection. I mean, you'll be there for hours because it's pretty damn big, but you'll certainly learn some things.